Okay. Good morning. It's Wednesday, May 27th here in Kittitas County. My name is Amy McGuffin. I am the Kittitas County Chamber of Commerce CEO. We are here with WorkSource and People for People. So Laura and Cheyenne, is that how you say your name? Awesome. Today's conversation will be directed by the two young ladies, but I just wanted to go ahead and take our time to introduce ourselves so that they know who is on this call. The other thing is as you start getting used to these Zoom calls, we have the group chat function. So if there's some questions that come about, I'll try to moderate that. And if Laura or Cheyenne sees that onto the chat and you want to answer to those questions quickly, feel free to do that. Again, thank you for joining us, and we hope everybody takes something away from today's call. So it looks like I have 3 staff members on this call, Gemma, Madison, and Emily. They're all from the Chamber of Commerce. And so we'll start with Allie, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Allie Furtado. I'm the HRIS and Benefits Manager at HopeSource.
Thank you for joining us. And then I see somebody with Jay Strader. We'll let them introduce themselves on, oh, sorry, no video, but this is the recruiter here at KBH. So welcome, thank you very much. So I'll turn the time to you, Laura, and then you and Cheyenne can work out the mechanism of your presentation today. Let me know if you have a problem with sharing your screen. I can obviously make that happen if you need. So we'll go to you, Laura.
Okay, hey, thanks everybody. Thanks for having us, and congratulations Kittitas County on going to phase 2. So I'm Laura Chouinard, Kittitas County lead, and also with People for People, and I'll let Cheyenne introduce herself too.
Yeah, I'm Cheyenne Lowe, program lead here at the WorkSource, and we work with some employment and training programs.
So we have a couple questions that were presented to us, and we just love questions because we love to answer anything that that you guys have. I don't know if all of you guys have really aware of what WorkSource does, our components and our partners. So we're going to try, we have a presentation that will kind of give you an idea of what our mission is, our affiliation with People for People, and our partners such as Employment Security Department, WIOA funding, and all of you guys as our community partners and relationships as well. So I guess we'll go ahead and start the PowerPoint.
So I'm still waiting to be able to screen share. So go ahead, and as soon as I'm able to do that, we'll.
So a little introduction to WorkSource Kittitas County. What do we do and who are we? So we are a partnership of state, local, and nonprofit agencies who we come together to provide employment and training services to job seekers and employers. We closed all in-person services on March 18, but we have such an amazing team that worked remotely to still maintain connection with the community. And as you all know, the high volume unemployment calls, you know, people having to transition their life going in unemployment was huge. Just to give you an idea, our teams are probably taking about 100 calls a day, all based around unemployment. The anxiety, the stress, what's the next step, the, you know, the complications of going online, as you've all heard, the technical things that had to be kind of redeveloped and created. New platforms had to be created to support the volume. But anyway, so normally our hours are Monday through Thursday from 9 to 4, but we are still here trying to always answer calls. Again, it's all unemployment related right now, but we're still here doing our mission, and we have a great team here. So some of our basic services that we provide here are our computers, all provided by Employment Security Department, free access to computers, Microsoft Office programs. We just want to be that one-stop shop for anybody looking, seeking, transitioning in the employment sector. We try to also be, you know, almost like a in-house career counselor advocacy group as well. We also offer printing, photocopying, scanning. We do have a phone here available for those who with barriers that don't have phones, and just are an amazing team here, really. And some of you guys probably meet everybody in one form or another, like Cheyenne. It's just an amazing team. There we go. And then of course there is the, I'm looking at that one. Okay, so it's that one. Search for jobs. I don't know, do you guys, have you ever seen our worksourcewa.com site? This actually, it's powered by Monster, and it's actually a state award winning site. It is phenomenal. We encourage anybody who walks through our doors to go on here, you know, get on our computers, sign up, create a profile. And this kind of refers to one of the questions, are you offering any training online, that was posed. Once you create a profile, it is an amazing resource. You can search for jobs all over the state. We also have in Yakima through the Workforce Development Council and Employment Security Department, we also work with businesses. So we encourage businesses to also create a profile in WorkSourceWA.com so that they can, you know, post their jobs at any time, you know, get their needs out there, you know, define the skills they're looking for. And, you know, people from all over the United States can check it out. Maybe they're in Florida and they want to move to Washington. They were tired of beaches and they want lakes instead of that. So it's an amazing resource. And then when you can really negate around it, there are training tools, Microsoft skills, how to create a resume. You can build your own resume. It can store your resume. It'll keep it in there and then you can just like totally share it when there's a job that you're interested in applying for, and just kind of share it. It's like Indeed in all those links. The one thing I like about WorkSourceWA, in addition to being, you know, part of this whole amazing team, is, I don't know, Indeed seems to, I think, and our job seekers always seem to get frustrated when they go to like Indeed, and not taking anything away from that, but then they get a lot of spam and sponsored jobs. You do not get that with our WorkSourceWA.com. When you create your profile, it is strictly based on your interest. You don't get those sponsored jobs. You know, those jobs are accurate. They're, you know, they're real time, and the posting dates are real. So as a job seeker, you don't get frustrated, and you know that what you're looking for is the real thing. And then, of course, those that are going into the unemployment sector, it is actually a requirement that they have a WorkSourceWA.com. That is one of their workflows and requirements to have. Let's see, what else do we have? Workshops. We have workshops. I'm trying to see workshops. Not only when we're open, we have great workshops. We have job clubs. We try to get creative and get a good group of people out engaged in things like how to build a resume. We do offer one-on-one resume assistance. So if somebody's really, you know, maybe they don't have a computer at home, or they're not sure how to speak to the skills and how to promote themselves in the next, in their journey to seek employment, my gosh, we do one-on-one resume assistance, cover letters. I mean, we give that job seeker an hour or more if they need, but you know, to really make sure we're covering everybody. We give them about an hour, and we've seen a lot of great success with that. And we all celebrate, you know, you spend the time, you work with somebody, you know, get their resume going, and they get out there, they go, oh yeah, I want that job. And then they get the job, and we're just like all celebrating here. It's like everybody's like, woohoo! So a great support team here, really. I can't express that enough. So in the interim, because we are not open, and we do have, through the worksourcelaw.com, there's a lot of online training resources as well. Through this whole experience with the COVID, there is a new platform that has been developed for the WorkSource Law training components that is actually opening up great online virtual training. So I just got an email here that, you know, hopefully here, you know, within the next month or so, we'll be able to launch that as well. So if you're a job seeker, you know, want to do a virtual workshop, we'll be able to accommodate that as well. We do have our Facebook. We try to, right now it's just been a focus of the unemployment support that the community needs, you know, questions and answers and all that stuff. General questions is right there. You can always reach out to myself. We have employment and training services, and I'm going to do a warm handoff for Cheyenne to speak to that as a program lead. And then we do have unemployment benefit questions. I just have to kind of share with you what's been going on with the unemployment. We have one partner here, Betty. I don't know if anybody's met Betty Jean, but she is an amazing unemployment specialist. But lately, I tell you what, 100+ calls a day, she needed some support. And that name, Sharon Sandness, is not only known, she's a native of Ellensburg, but people come in here and they know her by her first name. She's our frontline go-to guru. Everybody adores her. And she's just right there, compassionate, caring. And she has been a really great team player working with Betty to also help Betty with those unemployment questions that have been just tremendously huge, the volume of questions. And I think people that call in, even though the question can be so small, it's just sometimes just having that voice too, knowing that somebody answered their call. And Sharon's just been a really great component of that. So,
so Laura, I just have a quick question on that.
Yeah.
So this is great contact information, but is there a location in Ellensburg? And if so, where is it at?
Our location is, our physical location is 510 Pine Street. And so are you guys familiar with the Yakima Federal Savings Bank? Right off 5th. So our access, our front door is alley access. So you just, from, you know, Yakima Federal Savings, we're in between Yakima Federal Savings and Elmview. So we're kind of tucked in this little cove. We used to be on Mountain View Avenue. I don't know if any of you remember that, but and people still connect us to Mountain View Avenue. So if you hear anybody, you know, go to WorkSource, just, you know, say, hey, it's off, you know, in between Yakima Federal Savings and Elmview. So we're kind of tucked here. Parking is very, very challenging here. I think we have, what, 5 stalls and 1 handicap. So, but we're here. People find their way to us. Did I answer anything else? Shoot me, give me some questions.
Well, Cheyenne, why don't we hear from you if you have a few things to add?
Yeah, I'll just give a short overview, and then feel free to ask me any additional questions, because I could talk a long time about our program.
Right.
So we work with 3 federally funded programs through the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. They're called the Adult Dislocated Worker and Youth Programs. So we work with folks age 16 and up. And so we really are just recommending for folks to contact us and ask for to see what's next. One of the questions we got is, okay, what are the first steps someone should take if they've been laid off and are looking for employment? Well, one, we want you to call us. because we have a lot of resources, just like Laura was explaining, but it's overwhelming to read through a list, and especially if you're trying to contact employment security, very few people are getting through there. So we want to show you how to apply for unemployment benefits if you're not already familiar, if you've been laid off or furloughed or whatever the situation is. It sounds like a lot of folks are thinking that they will return to their former position, and that's great. I guess some of my worries right now are whether everyone will be able to return to jobs that they've had over the next few months. So I guess I'm hoping that people will contact us and to talk about options just in case those jobs are not there as they have expected. Or really right now is the best time to think about different options and opportunities. Maybe you don't want to go back to your last job. Maybe you're ready for something new, a new career or a skills upgrade. So whether it's something that you'd like or something that you need, if you know that your job is permanently laid off or downsized, whatever the situation is, now's the best time to think about your career path and where you want to be next. So our employment and training programs fit in really nicely with that career exploration because we're career counselors here that we can talk through where you're headed on that career pathway. How do we get you to the next step? Maybe you want to, you have a nursing goal. Well, maybe getting a CNA is a good first step, or LPN, or whatever it is. So our programs can actually help pay for training for folks who qualify. So we've helped with anything from getting a CDL to getting a CNA license, finishing up an associate's degree or even a bachelor's degree if someone has some credits already accumulated. So we can help financially. We can help spiff up a resume if someone thought, oh, I've got the skills, I've got some experience, but I haven't had a job search in 10 years. The job market has changed a little bit and your resume may be outdated. And so we do work, like Laura was saying, we work one-on-one. And then with our programs, we actually work kind of a step more intensively to provide really good feedback on how to make a marketable, competitive resume and cover letter, which is really difficult. And none of us really have to be an expert on it unless you work in WorkSource. So we're happy to help with that job search piece as well. And sometimes it's even like a really short certificate. Someone says, well, I'm qualified for these jobs, but I don't know if I'm competitive enough. Maybe there's a really short online course that someone could take to just put them a step above other applicants. We work with actually a lot of online training, especially for the short term. Maybe someone wants to expand some of their office skills and learn some QuickBooks, direct their career path to more accounting focused, or a step deeper in Microsoft Excel, medical terminology, so they can get into the healthcare industry. So there's so many different options and situations. I couldn't list them all, but we're here to have a conversation to figure out what the best next step is.
Well, I think that sounds great. Thank you for that update. Did we have some other questions that you didn't cover? Because I think you covered most of them that we received prior, because we always prepare some pre-questions for sure. I know, Laura, you've been involved with the economic resiliency group that's been meeting on Fridays. And so I think the question would be, now that we're in phase 2 and some of these businesses are able to rehire, the concern that we have with some of the businesses, especially the restaurants, most of their employees were students at the college, and those students have not returned because of the current circumstances. So what would you recommend for those restaurants that, here's the issue, dual issue. The employees are over on the west side, either at their parents' home, so they're no longer in the student world. We're at the cusp of tourist season. Memorial Day weekend usually is what starts that. And so are restaurants having job fairs? Are they, what is their preparation, and how does WorkSource fit into those preparations?
Great question. And yeah, it's definitely, when things move, they're going to move fast, such as this. So yeah, couple of ways to go about that is we have, for the businesses and the business owners, we can connect them with our business solutions team up at the Employment Security Department, WC, up in Yakima. And well, they can coordinate with them now appropriately, a job fair. We can do an online job fair now. I mean, there's so many ways to get creative and just to make something happen. I think before all this happened, we were working with McDonald's in Upper County, just to give you an example of how creative you can be. And then this happened, everything closed. Of course, at the time the employer needed so many staff members, but I think, the more creative and inventive you can be to just do an online virtual job fair, or, that could work for getting the word out. They can connect with Michelle Smith over at, and I'll kind of give you her information here. She's a part of the business solutions team. She would be the employer connect. I can do the same, but I would, it's a warm handoff, to Michelle, so we would work jointly for Kittitas County employers seeking some type of support like that. Another way you can go, which I'm starting to get a lot of construction roofers, labor calls, they'll call in and have, hey, I need somebody, for a week, or I'm looking for, a skilled roofer. Our list, we have a day labor list that we compile of people saying, hey, call while I'm waiting to get employed. Call me if anybody needs anything for a week, or, any type of job. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can dispatch their needs, whether it's something that we can do here fast, expeditiously, or send them off to, a bigger spectrum of support with Michelle that we can work jointly to do some type of a job fair. There's always a solution. So just, direct them to us, here, if you have any employment needs. And I don't, KVH, I see them, they're on our work source wall a lot, and the recruiters is online too, but just reach out to us. And we'll make sure that your needs are designed and tailored around to what we can do, even going in phase 2 or moving forward. I hope that answers that. Yeah.
I'll just add on to that if there are specific trainings or certifications that Hope Source KVH are seeing that you're like, we can't find people qualified to do these things, good people qualified, ready to work. We'd love feedback on that, so we can have like real-time employer suggestions for if there's someone who is interested in going into healthcare, but they're not sure what really is the most marketable position right now, or where the highest demand is, and we want to be there with the real-time data and make suggestions.
Well, I think there's some great opportunities for sure countywide, and I wanted to say thank you for being a chamber member. If there's anything that we can help push these services out, we're happy to do so. We have a weekly bulletin that maybe we could link your services on, so that people are familiar with employment and training service, or just even general questions. Because I think one of the things that we start getting into the normalcy of our lives, we tend to forget services like WorkSource and People for People, because we just get into the world that surrounds us, and then I think we're in survival mode a lot of times. And so those people that are out there that may not be aware of the services or of the opportunities, we need to get it out there for you. So again, thank you for being a member, and hopefully we can help you with that. For those panelists that are on, do you have any other questions for Laura or Cheyenne? Looks like we don't. This one, we just, again, thank you for coming, and I'm going to stop share here real quick.
I do have a brief thing to say. With Hope Source last year, I think it was last year, our transportation department kind of exploded. We got a city contract, and we were in immediate need of 10 to 15 new drivers. So we actually reached out to WorkSource, and they held a career fair, and I think we saw 10 people that day, and in a span of 3 hours.
I remember that one.
It may have been even more, but we came out of that with 5 or 6 new employees, many of whom are still with us. And so, yeah, I really appreciate WorkSource and the fact that you guys work with employers, use the space and allowed us to come in. And it was so helpful that you guys had a bunch of computers because our application process is all online. And that's one of the hard things of when people come to Hope Source's office is we have a couple of computers that people can use, but the fact that everyone could come in, fill out an application, we did interviews immediately, and then we started the process. I think we started hiring them. The career fair started at 10, maybe it was 9, and people came to do new hire pre-paperwork at 2 at our office. So it was so cool. I'm really thankful for you guys, and thank you for your partnership, and can't wait to have another career fair one day.
I know.
Well,
Amy,
I'm not going to spoil it, but Laura and I have been talking about it
yes
for quite some time, and so we're gonna get on this, Laura. I think
we're gonna do it.
We were
Friday.
McDonald's and doing a career day and all sorts of things, and something with the C started, and we just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
so.
couldn't. I was thinking about him. I wake up every day and I think about them over there. But yeah, Friday, I'm looking forward to connecting and re-erupting this stuff that's just ready to get back in action. And businesses are starting to hire, so you're going to see. I don't know. You guys like us on Facebook? Kittitas County WorkSource. Just get on there. I think some of you do, but we'll jobs are going to start happening. A lot of people are calling in, and I'm really excited for the next phase for people that have been going through a lot too. People have really been going through a lot, so getting back to work is going to be good.
Well, wonderful. Thank you for your time and for updating us on the services that you provide. And so this is usually where we kind of sign off. We're a pretty quick visitation, 30 minutes or so. So
Cool.
Thank you again for your time, Cheyenne. It's nice to put a face to the name. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks you guys for having us. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.